I'm working in fish, about fish and ecology, and mainly freshwater ecology in Thailand and Southeast Asia. We have cooperation with several scientists from Southeast Asia, from many Asian countries and European countries, also in America. And we try to working for our area because in our area in Thailand, we have very few taxonomists who are working on this field. And also another thing, when we caught a fish, we are going to the field trip. We got after we working on fish, I'm going to collect the fish and also not only fish, because normally we have another thing like invertebrate, like amphibian, like a reptile, something. We collect and we bring it back to my museum. And also some species, some specimen is very nice to how to preserve them, to take it to long time. Then I love it also for the taxidermy and also bone staining and bone of fish. We are so good luck because in Thailand, mainly in Thailand, we have a lot of giant fish, very huge one, like gigas, like Pangasinodon gigas, like Catlo salmonsis, and until to small one, because the big one we can reserve them like a taxidermy, and also a small one we can do that like how to staining the bone. We love it, and we did a lot in my lab and with my student. Today I would like to talking about the taxidermy and the art of the taxonomy, because most of the taxonomies they preserve them mainly in the formalin and in alcohol to preserve them so long time. But some species, some specimen, we have a very nice when they shape, very nice everything, and then how to preserve and to show, to represent them from this river, from this lake, from this sea, something like that. And maybe some of them I got free, and some of them I pay for the big fish. Today, my topic, I'm talking about the taxidermy, skeleton, and bone staining. Man, if you have some questions, any questions, okay, you can ask me directly, or if you need more information, okay, please contact me by email, by Facebook, or something, because we can share together. I'm not an expert, but I'm trying to do and to keep them in the museum to show, to representative to the young student, to the young guy, to the new generation, to make understandings about the fish. So many things about fish, because at least in Thailand we have 1,200 species of fish, 1,200 species of freshwater one, and also we have at least for 3,000 species of marine fish. At least there's around 1 in 10 of fish in the world. We are so lucky. And also it's easy for me how to make a stuff or a taxidermy. Normally we call stuff, because it's mostly normal word than taxidermy. Taxidermy more scientific words. For specimen, everywhere I got, okay, I bring it back to my lab, or some of my friends, they are the aquarists. They're rearing the fish, the big fish in the tank, the big tank, and also some of them, they die, and they give me directly. And also I'm so good luck because I'm designed for the aquarium, the Chiang Mai Zoo aquarium. Also I have to do that, to working together with them. And when the fish, they too old and too big and too old, when they die from the aquarium, they give me directly. And also when I go into the field trip, I got some big fish, okay, I bring it back and bought from them. And many of fish we collect, and then we teach my student also at the same time. We have a class like a taxidermy or for museum, something like that, for my student. It's a very enjoy one. The specimen is most important if you want to preserve them like a taxidermy. You should looking that for them is a very good condition. If it's not good condition, that means scale leak of scale or some part of body is cutting out, something like that. Okay, we don't use that. And also the knife is the most important. Also, any equipment, this equipment is so important because when you cut it, to be sharpening everything. We use several knife for that. When we use that, we can cut it. And also we use if the big one like this one, the Arapaima gigas, also the giga Arapaima gigas or Arapaima in Thailand is so popular in aquarium and aquarium tank in aquarium trade or something like that in Thailand. And then the skin is very strong. The scale is very thick. And then when you want to cut it, you should remove the first row of the skin of the scale in the belly. It's a big one like it. When we serve them with a taxidermy, that means you should cut off all the thing from all the meat from the body. Take it times. And also sometimes you see this one I use the steel, the engine saw to cut it because it's too big. Normally, if don't do like it, we cannot cut it. And you can see this one, I reserve them. I freeze them first. If freeze them is more easy how to cut it inside. And also when we cut it, take care, be carefully because the steel is very fast and it's very sharp also. If we want to cut, you want to cut like that, you should know you are the expert how to use it. If you're not expert, maybe you cut your hands, and also you can cut something on the skin also, not on only the meat. And another one is sorry, cotton. It's one of the important one because many material we use, but I love it because no insect inside. It's but a little bit expensive when we put it in a big fish. And another one, this one we call the some species, some fish, the large fish, the huge fish is very thick skin. Then we use another equipment to punching. You cannot use the needle only because that the needle, no, it's nothing because it's too thick. And sometimes the bone is too strong. We use something to cut it more harder. And many things that depend on the fish you have. If the big fish like fish, you can do also, but sometimes it's a small one. For the small one, we don't no need to use any equipment, the big one. Just a small knife, small the cutting, something like surgery cutter, something like that is enough. Okay, next one we're talking about the sodium benzoate. The sodium benzoate also, if you don't want to use for the small fish, if you don't want to use the formalin, because normally we use the formalin to preserve them, to fix them, but in some time you have no idea how to use the formalin because the formalin is very strong smell. And if you use the sodium benzoate, also it's much more easy, and you can put in and sinking the skin, but not for the large species, large specimen, just for small specimen around maybe 25, 30 centimeters long, and also the thick is not so, it's around 1 inch, something like that, 1 or 2 inch. Okay, that's okay. Because if the bigger one, like if the bigger one, no, we cannot fix it same. But I love it also when we use for the small fish. For the second one, another one is phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein is most important how to protect in the first stage of the taxidermy. because when we gliding into a small piece and mix them with the cotton wool นะครับ that's mean you can protect from the insect who are eating on the skin in a beginning time. And another one, the needle, we need a lot, but the needle normally is strong straightly, but if the better one, the good one, it should be curved for in the tip, because we use the curved one, that means it's easy to sewing them. And also another one is monofilament. Monofilament is better for me. It's different size of monofilament. If the monofilament is not so good, that means for the fish, you can be hiding. And if the polyfilament is not good for the taxidermy. And another one, sometimes we use the sand for fixing and to make a mold inside of the fish. It's not normally when you cut the small fish, it's easy to cut a small fish and put the sand inside. When we put the sand inside, that means the sand can be going to several places, every place in the body of the fish. It's much more easy when we make them butter. After they dry, you can take it out. The sand is out, and you can fix them. You can put them again with cotton wool. Why I use the sandy first? Because normally when we use the cotton wool first, that means some part of the skin is not exactly directly to touch to the cotton wool, and to make them have something like roughy skin. It's not so good. When we use the sand, it's a very good one and very smooth one. It looks like a real fish. It's still real fish. And another one is the coconut fluff. Coconut fluff is not so good if you don't kill all the insect, because in the coconut fluff, there means so many insects, they love it. When the small insect, they are growing inside of the fish, that means they make a hole of your specimen. They are then I don't like to use this one, and also a little bit heavy. The mostly we use it also the synthetic fiber. Synthetic fiber is light, but the synthetic fiber a little bit expensive when we use this one. And synthetic fiber, that means you can buy several places also. And another thing, when I use for the taxidermy, that means I use a lot of one is a cotton, but not a cotton from the tree, because the cotton from the tree, that means it's not so good quality, and also a lot of insect, the egg insect inside. And another one is a cotton wool. Cotton wool is the best one for me, because it's easy to use and clean and clear, no insect and nothing to put it. And when I put it in the body of fish, that means you can make it finely by your forceps. You put the forceps inside. And another one, we used the foam mold to make a mold first. You can use a knife to make a mold exactly the same size with your fish. It's very fit to one, but if you are not expert in crafting, not easy also for you to how to do that. And another thing, when we use for making a mold from the rubber and acrylic mold, this one, when we put this one inside, we use a rubber to put it inside to make a real fish from the rubber. That this one is not a taxidermy, actually not taxidermy. We would use more. And we don't forget the varnishing. To varnishing, it's like a lacquer, several lacquer. You can use it, but in spray lacquer in a can like fish, it's not so good. When we use them for a year, the color will be changed from white and clear one become yellow one. It's not so good. You can use a good quality of lacquer to varnishing, because a good quality of lacquer additive adhesive, you can use that one to mix, where you can use a brush to take it off. But before you use the varnishing, how to varnishing, you use acrylic color. The acrylic color is not so expensive. You can use this one, and more, it's better than oil color, because the oil color sometimes when the moisture, the high moisture is not so good, because when the high moisture, they become easy to remove it. But for the acrylic color, to when you color them, they can stay for a long time, and after that you can cover by the varnishing one. Okay, this is all the equipment and also the material when I use for the taxidermy. Do you have some question? One that show me what is the ratio of sodium benzoate with water and suspension for preserve. This is a good question. This question is one to 9 ratio. The ratio 1 with sodium benzoate and 9 for example 1 liter. You can use 100 grams of sodium benzoate and water 900 milliliter, like that. Okay. Okay, continue. Okay. So how to preparation of the specimens. For example, this one is a grouper, the giant grouper. Do you know the price of this one? The owner of the aquarium, they bought it for at 500,000 baht per fish. And this fish, when it die, the owner, they bring it to me directly from Chonburi in the eastern part of Thailand. They love it a lot. Firstly, we open for the last specimen like fish. Normally we use for fixing for the top lateral side looking is only. Then we use how to cut. We cut them on the belly, because the last specimen can be have a different shape of the belly. When the belly, when we can open the belly, and also from the throat until to the anal fin, to the base of anal fin. That means from the throat here until to the anal fin, the beginning, the origin of anal fin. It's easy how to move, and some species, some specimen, we can cut it more, but for the last specimen, no need to cut it. And you take care, because when you cut it for the fine and strong and strong scale like fish, like this one, like a grouper, it's easy for us how to use this. If you want to starve off the like a Cyprinidae, the Cyprinidae with the large scale Cyprinidae, it's not easy how to remove them, because the last one is easy to remove by themselves. Should be take care when you cut the belly, and also when you cut the meat in the body. But for bigger size like fish, it's easy for me. I love to taxidermy. I love to start for the last specimen, last species like fish. And after we cut it, take a lot of times, because also we use so many labors from the night, from the daytime until the night time. When you're so tired, okay, go to bed. But if you take a longer time, that means the meat not so fresh. It's not so good, with a lot very not a good smell. Then when we use my cut like this, okay, it's easy for me, and so many students can be helping me for the fish like fish. Okay, we can open from that, and many of them they can use step by step. And how to do fat should be removed. Should be removed is all from the meat, from the skin. We cut slowly cut, and also some part we remove all the vertebrae, the back vertebrae. We cut it first. When we cut it, and we can remove them out. When we should remove it out, and also the fin. We have you can remember for the anal fin and dorsal fin, we have something like a spine, the proximal spine from the dorsal fin, anal proximal radial, and also the dorsal proximal radial. Cut it also with a very strong one. The small knife like this one is just for the cutting the meat. That's all. After we remove all the meat, we clean up all. Then you can see now just only skin, and we cut it off. Also this one we should cut it also, because if we don't cut it, it's not easy to put the cotton inside. This one, this big fish like this, we never forget to use the cotton wool. Why? Because when we lost it, the cotton wool can be reserved, can be lighter, and also no insect inside. Is it safe for us? Because after we start or taxidermy, that means if it's not so good condition in some time, do not to starving or taxidermy the large fish in the rainy season, because all of my specimen is gone from fermentation for something and gone. Many of my big fish, my good fish is gone. Then I put them in the freeze first. When the drying season or hot coming, okay, we starting to use starting to starving for the last specimen. If the small specimen, anytime you can put them in the hot. You can put them in a hot machine or something like that, and you can do something more. But the last specimen like it, no, it's not easy, because we need a whole day sunny to dry it. And also another thing we remove, like gill should be removed. Gill should be removed all the meat every place. You use a spoon. So several spoons. You use a spoon, and then you do on the spoon in the tip of spoon. You use something like for sharpening it first. When you use sharpening it first, it's easy to use. It's like a cutter. It looks like a cutter. You can remove. You can take a times. You can enjoy along the day. You can enjoy at the night time, something like that. For this fish, I take a time for 3 days and 3 nights for remove all the thing. And after that, we use the cotton inside, the cotton wool inside. The cotton wool is most important, because normally for the cotton wool, they become a roll, something like a roll of the paper, something when you roll it. You should make them into a small piece first, around the maybe an egg, something like that. That's okay. It's easy because they can go everywhere by your hand. If the big one, no, it's not. It cannot go inside by your hand. And also, there is make the skin of fish is not too shape like the same shape from the natural one. Then we use this one. Many of them also many pack of the cotton wool. This one quite expensive. For example, you see, we can use another equipment to take like to use with the needle, because it's a very strong. The grouper is a very strong skin. Then we use this one, and also sometimes we use another thing like a machine to punching it first, to make a hollow first, and to use. After that, we can use a normal one of a needle. You see here, this one is a monofilament. This is a monofilament when you use a hooker, they use that one. It's easy for you and very strong one. And after that, when we use all the things inside of the body, when you use all the things inside of your body, the fish body, okay, you can make exactly some plates, and you can 100% to solving them. And after that, and how to make it thin, like a fish still alive, and also the fin, the pectoral fin, the pelvic fin, and every fin, and how to do that by fix. Normally, if the big fish like this, when we use the sodium benzoate, it's not so good for the fish, because the big one cannot preserve. When you use a sodium benzoate, you use a small fish. After you remove all the meat, and you solving, you need already fixed, and you can put them in the water, put them in the solution of the sodium benzoate water, around 15 minutes for the small one, and bigger one around 30 minutes. And after that, you dry it. For the small one, you can dry it. No, sorry. You for the small one, you can put them and you could bring it out, and then you can put the sand inside the mouth until fully by sand in the body of fish. And after that, you can dry it for 3 days at least. For 3 days at least. How to make them dry, the skin dry? If you don't do like that, around 3 days, it's not yet dry, you are going to incubate somewhere with a hot plate. But because it will be the skin is not so good anymore, the condition of skin is not so good anymore, and then maybe it's not so good when you preserve them. Okay, and for the big fish like fish, I use exactly the formalin, because the formalin is much more easy to fix it. 100% formalin to inject. You can see here, to inject all the meat. Some place we cannot remove all the meat, then we put the formalin we inject the corn formalin, the 100% formalin, into the every place for the fin. For example this one, we fix the fins, we use the rope or the monofilament to fix it, to pull it like a normal fish. Then when they're still alive, they're swimming. And also another fin, we do like that, and to fix it in the position you want. Also another species like fish, like Arapaima gigas, we do the same thing. We remove the skin, we remove the scale in the belly first, and then we cut it directly. And also sometimes we use the bigger one like fish, we use the steel. The equipment is not mentioned. Sometimes we not mention about the equipment. When we use X, we cannot do that. We can do the big knife. Okay, we can do that. We use the bigger machine, how to remove faster and faster. We need at least for 12 hours for finishing all the thing. But if more than 12 hours, is not so good to preserve of the skin. And after that, you see, we clean it all. Use the normal cloth to remove something like blood, like tissue, the meat tissue or something like that, to remove it all, to cleaning. Like, okay, you can see this one. This normally for the cotton wool, they have a roll like this, and then we use to pick your hand to pick it, because to make it softer, and they can go everywhere, every part. Also the same thing, we can put it inside and also sewing until to finish. That's one is a taxidermy for me. Okay, we can share some idea with the taxidermy? If you know question, we can go to fishbone. I have a lot of bone. I have a lot of experience about the many fish. They use a bone when we cut it. Every fish is look like but different. Different species, different bone. It's actually it's very interesting for me. The bone, one of the thing I love it, and many bone in my lab, and also I taught to my student how to do that. It's easy equipment, easy materials we use. The specimen coming, okay, to clean it up specimen, and also because the taxidermy, we are remove the bone, but for the bone we remove the skin out. All the skin we take it off, and then we cut remove all the meat. We use a knife, we use a surgery set, something like a cutting, like a skisser, and also easy one. It's the most easy one to boiling with the pot and gas. It's easy when we cut it to separate them. For example, to cut part of the bone and on the neck, and to put the head into the hot water, and also we just a trunk vertebrae group, and also the on the caudal vertebrae. For fins, it's very important. You do not put the fins into the hot water, because the filament, the membrane, after when you put the membrane into the water, that means all the membrane is gone. How to do that? If you want to cleaning for all the fins, for the pelvic fin, anal fin, ventral fin, dorsal fin, or caudal fin, any fins, you can use just only the part who are with the meat. That's all. Because why? Because you can put in dipping, like a dipping in the hot water. When you're dipping in the hot water, you can check it. And most important thing, we use it, the brush, the toothbrush. It's very easy to the toothbrush. Your toothbrush, you can use your toothbrush. A daytime you can use your toothbrush for the cleaning the bone, and at the night time before you sleeping, okay, you can use that one for your teeth if you can. And the toothbrush is more important, because when you dipping the fins into the water, just only the bone, the part of bone of fins. And okay, you can use the toothbrush to remove all the meat from fat. When you remove it, or after you remove it, you can do fat, and also you can dry it first. You can the fins, when you want to do like the fish still alive, okay, you can fig it, you can use something. Normally I love it to use the card. When if you play in card, it's easy for you. You can use also, if you haven't, you can use the thick paper, something the cover of the book, something like that. You can use that. Your useless book, okay, you can use to fix the fins, because the fins, when you don't, if you don't fix, become curved, and so many curve is not so good, the condition for fat. If you want to take it back, you put them in the water temperature water, and then when become softer, okay, you can adjustment, and you can fix them with the thick paper. And also another thing we call the hydrogen peroxide. After you clean all the meat from your fish, okay, and you dry it first. Most important, after you remove all the meat, then you can dry it first. Should be dry, and after dry, you can use for the hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is more important, because when the high concentration, only at night, your fish will be gone. If you use that one, you can dilute for 3% of the hydrogen peroxide. Why? Because it's too strong. It's too strong when you use the stronger one. Normally for 3% of the hydrogen peroxide. Take a times. You can check every day. Every day you can check it every day. It's clean or not, because normally for the catfish we have so many problems about the catfish, because the catfish they have oily in the bone. When you use the oily bone, after a week, after a month, the bone will be yellow. It's more important when you want to clean all the bone, all the lipid in from the bone. You can use some of the maybe shampoo or something to remove it, because how to remove the fat. Or if you have no time, you can put them in the alcohol, in the as alcohol around maybe 70% of alcohol. It can be removed, or can be removed it easily, because the alcohol, the ethyl alcohol is a solvent. It's easy to remove the oil in the bone. And after that, after you remove all the oil from the bone, you can put it in the hydrogen peroxide. If you do like this, okay, you can have a very clear and white bone for your museum collection or for your research. Because sometimes in the research, many times I do the research like that. Until now, it's still white. And another thing, the wire. So many kinds of wires, because wire can be used for the bone, the vertebrae. We can put the wire inside the vertebrae to adjust all the for straightly, for curving or something like that. And another wire, bigger wire, to make a hole or make to make something like a pillar for the fish. And board, maybe you can use wood or everything you want, you have to make a base for your fish. And you have something more like you have a glass or acrylic, you can put them, you can make a like a box, like a aquarium tank, small aquarium tank, to cover it from the dust, because it's normally a lot of dust. And also some animal, they eat it, they coming. The rat is most important, they love it. If your bone is not so clean from the meat, at the night time, your guests, they are coming, a lot of rats, they are coming to eat it. And also we still to use varnishing or some of the acrylic color if you want. Sometimes if you want to do something like on the fins, you still have, because some species of it on the fins is still, they still have a color. If you want to put it, okay, as you like, it's everything, you can do that. And also brushing is more important. Also the same thing with the clearance, because the varnishing, normally for spray varnishing is not so good for taxidermy and for the bone, because after that, after a month, after a year, they will become yellow on the cover. And also when you use you varnishing to brushing, and the good quality one should be good quality one. They still have a clear and white, still white. Okay. In the fish, we have so many species of fish, at least for 38,000 species of fish in the world now. Mainly it's jawless and jawfish. This one is jawfish, because in Thailand we have just only one species of jawless fish, and never seen. It's a long time. They report by Wong Ratana in 1989, something like that. It's long. He got it, but now we cannot find any specimens. And then nowadays we have mainly fish two groups. The first one is the cartilage bone fish or elasmobranchii. In the elasmobranchii group, it's not difficult how to do, but to take a time also. For the bony fish, there's so many bony fish, it's many of them. Okay, firstly, I want to talking about the stingray first. The stingray is not so easy when you do that. The fins of them, the pectoral fins of them is very large. You can use something how to do like this. It's not, we take a lot of time to do. We use branching, we use a hot water, but not so hot, around 60 degrees, that's all. It's more than that, no way we cannot choose, because the cartilage bone, the bone is become changed immediately, because we curving. Take care, if you take a bone from this one, if and also another fins, we can remove that, and also the gills, take care, because it's very soft. Normally in both our shark and stingray, the smell is not so good. It's very strong smell from the ammonia. I have a lot of experience about this one, how to do that. I put it in the water. I put it in detergent water. Use the detergent water is around more strongly detergent water, and put them in that one first, and put it inside, and every day, every morning, every day, every time, I use the toothbrush to remove the meat out. Firstly, you can use a knife, a cutter, to cut it first, because sometimes it's a little bit thick, and when they are thick like this, we can use a cutter to cut it. When we use a cutter to cut it, that means we can remove it easily. And after that, not too many meat, so not too many fresh meat. That means we can remove by the toothbrush. Also in the shark, the same thing we did. The shark, the cartilage bone also on the head is clearly to remove piece by piece of the meat, of the shark meat. And also the bone like fish, we can remove the fins first, because the fin is never just, they have a connection together with the body by ligament. Then you can take care and you can remove it all, because when we know and fix, you can take a photo first to fix the position. When you put it back, in our fish, when you know the position of the bone, if you don't have any picture, maybe you can mistake some of the position of the bone. Easy of the shark and ray. Why? Because after we remove all the meat, that means nothing more. Why nothing more? Because they have very few bones. On the head, just only two parts, only the brain case and only the subclavian. That's all. That I mean is easy. Just on the jaw, just only the upper jaw and lower jaw. That's all. The macro cartilage. That's all. It's not too many pieces of bone. Then after we do that, we cleaning up, and we can dry it first. Also, these two fish, stingray and shark, you can put it also in the potassium. Sorry. Hydrogen peroxide, 3% of hydrogen peroxide. But you take care every day. Every day you should take care. You should looking for fat, because some days your body is gone, because it's very fast to cleaning by hydrogen peroxide. Next, we are talking about the bony fish. Bony fish, we have two groups. Firstly, the marine fish. Second one is a freshwater one. Freshwater one and marine one, this is not so difficult, but for the marine one, much more clear and easy to do the skeleton than the freshwater fish. The freshwater one, sometimes the bone is very oily, but the marine one, no, not too very oily. For example, in group of the Karanchidi. The Karanchidi is one I love it. The bone is very clean and clear and very easy how to do fat. The big one of the traveler is a very good one. And also when we use the times how to do is just only a day. We can remove, we can do that, and we can fix. You can see the fins. I told you about that. It's a good fins like it. To open the fins, it look like when the fish is still swimming, still live. And also the dorsal fin, but this one is not so good because maybe something here should be curved like this. And also the another fins. The problem of the fins of the ventral fin, you can have something to do like where is the position. You can hang it by the wires. Also, you can do that. Normally, the wire we use from the head from the neck until to here to be here. For example, this one from my research, when we are talking about the comparative skeleton of the marine puffer. This marine puffer in Thailand in several species in the same genus. There are different bone. Many bone. They are at least look like which is very surprised. For example, here I will show you about this one. Okay, you can see here this one fish in the same genus in the Lagocephalus. You see here the Lagocephalus. When you do want to see the skull, the brain case, that's the brain case. You see different of the ethmoid, different the prefrontal, frontal, and everything, and also in the back one on the back. Okay, it's different also. Upper part like on from the upside down for the lower part. You can see here also the ethmoid and vomer are different, directly different, and also the prefrontal and the prefrontal. You see here the ethmoid are different. It's a very interesting one. When we are looking from the top, it's the same thing. You see. Okay. When we use the bone, when the fish, they are clearly, is very clearly for the bone like fish, we can identify them by just only for the head. This is my research about the fish, how to identify fish from the bone, how to identify fish from the muscle, from the puffer in Thailand, because the former time, a lot 10 years ago, we have problems about the puffer, the poisonous one from the tetrodotoxin. But at that time, nobody knows about what species of it, and because the fishermen, they caught it and directly to cut it and to selling into the market. But some of them, a lot of species, they have the poisonous, the tetrodotoxin. It's very dangerous for the consumer. And for the big fish like this, maybe sometimes that I told you about the fish is not so good condition outer side, like this one is Pangasianodon. Then the head here is not so good condition, it's cutting and burning something. Okay, then we design this fish like fish to be a bone, a skeleton one. If the completely and smoothly and very nice shape and very nice all, that's we call the good condition. Then we use taxidermy to preserve them in the museum. And the last one, talking about the bone staining. Bone staining is normally, for example, this one, orisis. We try to do for the new species orisis in Thailand. And then we are compared together by the bone. It's very clear because many part of orisis in Thailand, we have in the central part in the Mekong Mekong River and the southern part until to the Malay Peninsula. We have many, I think it's more than 4-5 species of orices in this area. Then we use this one. And we staining, how to staining? The staining, we have two colors of staining. The first one is alizarin red. And the second one is that is a alizarin red and ancient blue. Okay. The ancient blue we use for the cartilage bone. When they are cartilage bone, you can see the blue one. This one is this part we call the cartilage bone. I think this one is the junction is a proximal radial, and this one the distal radial, and also the fins ray. And also here around some part of the bone here, also like eye bone, sclerotum. No, not sclerotum. Sclera bone. Here is it is the cartilage bone. And another one, most of them are the ossitis. I'm so sorry. The bone, the true bone. Okay. Okay. The bone staining, fish bone staining is a little bit different from the another species, another method, because we use just only for the small fish. That's all, less than 5 centimeters thick, because it's one centimeters. That means no, around 5 millimeter. Okay, it's too thick. It's not so good, because we need to clear all the muscle, and we use a formalin first. Why we use a formalin? Because of the formalin is good for preserve. Then we should preserve not preserve. We should fix the protein first. That should fix the muscle first. When we fix the muscle, and after we fix the muscle, that means the fish can be the same. That means the good shape. We use fins out. Every fins we do that like a fish still alive by formalin, and then we put it in a formalin around at least for a week. That means if you you do for the thick one, it's not so good. The thick fish is not so good. For a week or for a month. If we use for a month, okay, it's better. And then after that, you can, after use the formalin, after remove from the formalin, and you put it in the water. You rinsing in the water. After the water around a night, 2 nights. Normally I use it around 2 or 3 nights to remove all the formalin with the water first. And after that, we put it in the potassium hydroxide, 2% potassium hydroxide and 3% hydrogen peroxide, 1:9 ratio. This one for the first step. And second one, we use ancient blue, and then we use alizarin red in the end. For example, the method is easy. I make it, everything is easy. Use scaly fish, remove scale. But for the scale fish, you should remove the scale first. Why we use the scale first? Because the scale more staining with the alizarin red better than the bone. Then you should remove the scale. You should remove the scale, all the scale out first. And for the catfish, no need to use that one. For the stingray, no need to use that one. You can fix them, and you can make a good position. If you want any position you want, you can do. You can imagine, that's all. And then we put in formalin, 10% formalin for a week or a month. That depends on your situation of your fish. If that fish is not so good, should be remembered, because if the fish is not so good, it's smelly, no, it's not good also for the meat. You cannot fix the meat or good meat, then no need to use this. You should looking for the very very fresh one, very fresh fish. Why? Because you can adjust any fins, firstly, and second one, the muscle is still strong. When it's still strong, that means your work is very good in the future. And clean all the fish and then put them in potassium hydroxide and 3% of hydrogen peroxide, the ratio 1:9. And after that, everyday check. The most important, every day check it, and then check it every day. When become white body, should be looking for that, become white body. That means uh, the pigment is gone, and also become the white body and light gray eyes. When you're looking for eyes, become light gray eye or brown or something, not a black eye anymore. You can change. It's more important. Why I talking? You should check every day. Every day you check it. In the morning time, in the afternoon, you can check it every day, every morning, every afternoon, because it's more important. You can standing the blue and ancient blue. That means you can standing the blue one first. Maybe take a time every day checking. Take a time around 3 or 4 days, not more. In the small fish, when you choose, you select the fish, should looking for the fish are same size, or closely same size. Why? Because if the different thick, different long of fish, that means the bigger one take a time small. Then if you choosing, as you select that your fish are the same size. Okay, not the same species, but sometimes also is the same species. You can do that. The bigger one or smaller one also we have a problem. Another thing is more important for that. If you use an all the you can use from specimen from the museum to standing, is not so good, because of the meat or the muscle is not so good anymore, and you cannot clear it. You cannot clear the muscle. If you want to standing, you should use the fresh one. The alive one is better. You put in the formalin, and after you cut standing the ancient blue 100%, 100 milligram ancient blue with ethanol 95%, 800 milliliters, and also the distilled water around 100 100 or 200 milliliters. It's mixed together and stirring, a good stirring to mix them together. And then you put a jar. You rinse the solution in the jar, and then you put the fish in the jar. 1 day only. 1 day only. That's enough for the standing the ancient blue. But the ancient blue is very expensive. Sometimes I haven't. I use it just only for the alizarin red. Alizarin red is more cheaper, but the ancient blue is very expensive. Just 500. No, 5 grams take maybe 4,000 baht, something like that. It's very expensive. But sometimes, okay, if I don't want to know about the cartilage bone, where is the cartilage bone? Okay, I don't care about that. I use only the alizarin red. And after that, after 1 day, you remove them and put it in the 2% potassium hydroxide. 2% potassium hydroxide only for a day, 2 days, every day check, until an every day change. The new one is around 3 days. Around 3 days. You can see everything are clear. The muscle clear, but this state is very soft. Firstly, from here until to here, okay, the muscle is still strong, but after you staining the ancient blue for the 2%, when you put it in the 2% of potassium hydroxide, should be take care, because every day you can check it. If clear, this state is most important, because normally before you staining, your fish, your specimen will be close. It's very easy to close for this state. That's why I told you you can check every day, every morning, every afternoon. And after that, after all the muscle clear, you can see inside, you can see clearly the bone inside. You remove them to staining with alizarin red, with glycerin 5% glycerin and distilled water around 60 millimeter per times. That means you can remove from the potassium hydroxide and then you put it in the alizarin red solution. And every day check again. Every day check again. This state also is will be easily to close. When the close is not so good, not so nice. You take a time. How long is it? At least for a week, 2 weeks, sometimes, or 3 weeks, sometimes. For some fish, is more thick. When you export in the end, what's happened with you? You should be starting again. You should be starting again. But then you should be take care, check every day, and change every day also. Check and change every day. That means you can check every day and you can change the solution every day also. And after that, the specimen become a good condition of this one. This one you see have a border, no animal muscle. And how to do that? Firstly, after you remove from the alizarin red staining, you can put it in the 2% of potassium hydroxide with the glycerin. The ratio around 3:1, and change from 3:1, then releasing something, because sometimes the skin also they can staining and can be removed it again from 3:1 become 2:1, and finally 1:1, and clearly everything not on the fish like this specimen I show you. And finally, after the thing is finished, you can use this one, put it in a glycerin, 100% glycerin with thymol. Why to put thymol? Why I put it thymol? Because thymol is most important, because thymol is a fungus protection. Just very few, just only one piece, that's all, not too many. Put it into in the jar or in the bottle as you like. This, for example, here you can see sometimes it's clear, but clearly, but sometimes it's not so clear. Sometimes you can see the air inside, because the bubble inside, you can see something like the food. It still have food in the system, in the digestive tract, and also very clearly. Sometimes it's not so good here like this. That means why? Because the fish, if the fish, the longer preserve, the fish is not so good condition, like fish, like this one is not so good condition. If the fish is a good condition, should be not so thick, and also the fleshy one to remove. See here, you can see it's a good condition, good one also. Why here is so clear, but this area is not so clear? Because here is a little bit thicker than the hollow one. On the belly is thicker. Then the belly is not so good here, but the staining can be count, can look in the shape, and you can count the number. What happened here? How you can see, for example, this one, two rays for one vertebrae, one hemospine. You see here, and also you can enlarge, for you can make a copy and something like that to check every fish. This one is a this one This is a micro Hexapterus, Cryptopterus Hexapterus. But the new one is changed microstoma Hexapterus, and this one is a Micronema bicuri. You see the bone here, the vertebrate apparatus of them. I love it. For example, some mistake of us, you see here for this species of fish, you can see the species of fish. Okay, we can standing. We did that. You can see on the fins, all the fins are they become cartilage bone. It's most important for this species. And we standing with ancient blue, and also after that we standing with the alizarin red. And then when we use this one, it's not only this one, this oasis, only this species. All the fins are the cartilage bone, and some part of them here, the eyes is circular, and also some of the part of cartilage bone here until to some part of the last one, the bronchial. And some species on the fins, no, on the fins are the normal one. It become a red, alizarin red, standing clearly. Not only for the joint here. You see the joint here. Okay, here this is maybe on the we can call the intermediate segment of the, how to say that, proximal radial, median radial, between the hypoglottal plate and caudal fins. You can see here this species, you can see the gills is not a cartilage bone, but the species is very clear. This Orysis javanica. You see here is very clear for the gill. It's become a cartilage bone, and also so many places become a cartilage bone. When you see here, sometimes we have a problem also. When we're standing, you can check, because this one is my mistake. I show my mistake. For this one, I stand also the alizarin, ancient blue on this specimen, but I cannot do that. The same condition, I put them in the same bottle. I put them in the same time from the pan check this one. But this specimen, no, we cannot standing clearly for the cartilage bone. But this specimen is the same species and same bottle and the same time. This is one of my question also. But sometimes you can try not only one species, not only one specimen. If you want to do, you can do around 5 to 10 specimens together. You can looking and you can clearly make understandings about the fish, because sometimes we have mistake in individual. And also this fish, this specimen very clearly standing the bone, every bone, cartilage bone exactly. We can do that, but you should thinking about that. And this one, okay, sometimes this one I put it also for the same thing with this one. I cannot standing for the cartilage bone, for the ancient blue, because sometimes ancient blue is, I have a problem with the ancient blue. Ancient blue, when we order, when we bought it, we should do that immediately, or maybe in a month, something like that. Maybe the quality of them, and maybe something, the temperature or something can be destroy them. It's not so good like we talking. In my museum here, the name of museum MARNM, Maejo Aquatic Natural Resources Museum. I put it. This one is the first fish who are give the name in fowler in 1974 something. This one is Gobius, Rhinogobius Chiangmaiensis. Then they use it for the symbol of this museum. And in the future nearby, I want to change it also become a Maejo Tigrina, one of my lodge. I would like to change the logo. In my museum, I put not only the fish, we have also this one to display around about the fish, to looking for inside the fish, what's happened, what is that, how we show the internal one, and also the turtle, also the dolphin and everything we put here. And we open for the young generation, they are coming to join us, and something also the mangrove crab, the big the mud crab, this one. Also some fossil from Thailand, and some big oyster, some big of this one. This is one of the rare species in Thailand, the conch one. And also we have coral. And welcome to Thailand. We come to visit us, and we can join together with all the people who are from everywhere in the world, and we can join the research. We can exchange your experience with me. Today, I'm so happy to talk with you. And in the future, or do you have some question, or do you have something to comment, to share your vision, to share your experience, please? I'm not an expert, but I'm working with my hand. Sometimes mistakes, sometimes I did and try. I lost it a lot. One thing, when I lost, I learned everything from my loss. Thank you.